into baking officially in 2015. I had just moved back up here from Memphis, and I was in the process of moving back out of my mom's house after moving back in her house when I came up here. And I needed a way to make money that did not require me to be out of the house constantly. I had just finished spending the last 8 months working 2 jobs during the day. I would work at a law firm from 9 to 5, get off, change my clothes, walk up 2 blocks up, and then go work as a hostess at Nando's until they closed. And it was great money-wise. I managed to save like, I think it was $15,000 in 8 months, but I was never home. And so, you know, of course, with a 3-year-old, they don't understand, you know, well, mommy's not home because she's at work. I mean, even at 8, you know, I'm at home and she's still like, what do you mean you're busy? You know, okay. So I wanted something that would allow me to make the money I needed to pay bills without necessarily needing to find a babysitter or be out of the house. And so one day I was just going through Pinterest, and I saw this idea for, I think it was a margarita cupcake. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. You know, I wonder if people would be interested in something like this. And I made a random status. It was like, you know, what if I started selling alcoholic cupcakes? You know, would y'all be interested in that? And people were like, oh yeah, I'd definitely be interested, blah, blah, blah. So I tried it out, and people were interested. And so for a while, I think maybe the first year or so, I only did cupcakes. And then I just kind of got bored with cupcakes. You know, cupcakes are cool, but there's only but so much that you can really do with them. And so I remember going to, I think it was like a sleepover at my best friend's house at the time, and I bought this little book, and it had different kid creep designs or whatever. And I was like, you know, guys, I decided I want to learn how to make cakes. You know, this is the type of stuff I want to learn how to make, so on and so forth. And I think that was maybe like 3 years ago, and it's just kind of been on ever since then. You know, I YouTube, Google, whether it be kind of just signing up for tutorials and watching them when I'm bored or whatever. I officially went full-time as of January this year. And it's been going really well. Like this month, I am overly booked. Okay. And you know, it's just kind of keeping it pressing, figuring things out as I go. I don't think I would say I have a favorite. I think right now the ones that I tend to make a lot of are the queen cakes. That's that one with the lady in the crown on top. I remember I remember the first fondant cake somebody hired me to make, and I felt so bad, and I still feel bad now that I think about it. I think I made 1 pan of cake, and I layered that 1 pan of cake in 2, of course, to give it the 2 layers. So it was maybe like this tall and just horribly done. I have, my best friend is technically my COO, well, one of my best friends is technically my COO. But at the point that I'm operating at right now, I really don't have anything for her to do. So every now and then, if I'm like super busy, I may tell her, hey, I need you to go check the inbox because I don't have time right now. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, hey, I need you to look into such and such for me because I'm doing a million things right now. But for the most part, I am the one who does order processing, payment processing. I don't really advertise much, but posting on social media, creating everything, it's pretty much a one-woman show. A lot of people, when they are buying custom cakes, you know, they kind of scrunch their nose up at the price, and I'm like, well, you have to understand, you're not even necessarily paying for supplies or ingredients. What you're paying for is time. You know, it takes maybe 30 minutes to get the batter together, and then 45 minutes to 50 for it to bake, and then you have to let it cool enough to put it in the freezer, and then you have to let it freeze. And then, you know, then you come in and you crumb coat it, which is probably going to take you about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how big your cake is. And that's just to even get it ready to be decorated. You know, you haven't even started doing this process here. And so, you know, a lot of people, you know, well, why are your cakes so expensive? I can go to Costco, and you can. You sure can. But, you know, it's not going to be made the way mine is. It's not going to be as meticulous or, you know, detailed. It's not going to be as personalized. But, you know, if that's what your budget is, cool. Although, I've been kind of worrying about going to maybe take a pastry chef class course or something like that. Just because there's definitely value in what can be learned in culinary school, and, you know, methods, techniques, just technical things that you don't think of being an at-home or self-taught baker. But we'll see. Yeah. Right, and that's like I say, there's no shade at people that have gone to culinary school, because Lord knows, I'm sure it is challenging as hell. For me, once I got pregnant with my daughter, you know, it was like, oh, well, there's the finances for that. And then I just never really had the time to really go back to school full time. You better get the hell away. After that. And so for me, it's always been kind of, well, if you want to learn it, you better figure it out. Or if I have when I have cakes coming up for the next week or whatever, I'll go through and I'll look at tutorials on how to do different ways to do them, you know? And what I've often have done is I'll go, if someone says, hey, I want a cake with such and such theme, I'll go on Google and I'll pull multiple images for inspiration, and I'll merge them, or I'll, you know, add my own touch or whatever. And that's how I kind of get some of my more wild creations, because it's a combination of so many things where I'm just like, that's freaking cool. That's freaking cool. My thing with Ayana is always, you know, I never want you to do something that you're not meant to do just because society says you're supposed to do it. So, you know, for me, find what makes you happy. Find, like, my feet be swollen, my ankles be swollen, I'm tired. I cannot believe I am up again after going to bed at 4. You know, but I love what I do, and you can see it in stuff like this. So I'm doing something where, you know, I'm tired, but I love what I do. I'm proud of what I do at the end of the day. You know, I can say, you know, this is me, this is all me. You know, this is something that I control instead of being controlled, and it's been a really great just life experience so far this year that I would definitely recommend for anyone that's willing to work for it.